Ambassador Friedman, thank you very much for having us.
Thank you, Tamir, for inviting me.
Thank you. Can you tell us how the friendship and the special bond between you and President Trump came to be?
Well, it goes back probably, let's see now, 22, 23 years. I met him through a friend, and I was his lawyer on 4 or 5 matters over the course of about 10 years. They were, complicated, high-stakes matters, litigation that I was his lawyer. I was fortunate enough to have been successful in all those cases, and the president certainly appreciates winning, and so we developed a friendship, and it was at a point really where I remember this very clearly when I was sitting Shiva for my father when my father passed away in 2005. There was a blizzard, a big snowstorm in New York, and nobody could come to my house to be Menachem Avel, and even people down the block, called me up and said, "We're sorry, we can't make it." And about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I see in my hallway a lot of pictures are being taken, flash pictures are being taken, and he came to me from Manhattan, 3.5 hours in the car, just to be Menachem Avel, and I thought that was such a generous and heartwarming action.
You also have a new book coming out, where you have an unorthodox solution for the conflict between Israel and the Palestinians. Would you like to elaborate?
Sure. Well, what I think the ultimate outcome should be for Judea and Samaria is complete Israeli sovereignty over the entirety of it from top to bottom. I think it is the only solution. I felt that way before October 7th of 2023. I'm convinced that's even more the case now.
So if I understand correctly, in your book, One Jewish State, what you're offering basically is to have Israeli sovereignty over Judea and Samaria when the people living there, the Palestinians, will have rights, but they won't have the right to vote to the Knesset, something like Puerto Rico, for example, in the US?
Yeah. Puerto Rico is an example. It's not the only example. In Puerto Rico, which is a sovereign territory of the United States, Puerto Rico does not participate in national elections. Same true, Guam, American Samoa, there are other territories as well. Most important thing is that everybody has a chance to benefit from the democracy of the State of Israel, from the opportunity, from the economy. But at the same time, Israel must be a Jewish state. That's the title of my book, One Jewish State. There are 40 Muslim states, there are Christian states. People ask me sometimes, what will the president say about one Jewish state? And I say, well, the first thing he would ask me is, what does Israel want to do? In other words, this is not America's decision. This is Israel's decision.
How serious, in your mind, is President Trump about the relocation plan?
I think he's completely serious. I think he's completely serious. You have unexploded landmines throughout the Gaza Strip. You have buildings that are on the verge of collapse. There's no place to put people. It's uninhabitable right now. It cannot be inhabited. The only way that Hamas will understand that they've lost, is by losing territory. He understands real estate, needless to say. He's one of the world's experts in real estate. It's 25 miles of beachfront, western-facing Mediterranean beachfront, the sunset over the Mediterranean. We've all seen it. We've all seen how beautiful Tel Aviv is. You see what people are getting for apartments on the water in Tel Aviv. The opportunities there are enormous. Gaza could be, I'll use a phrase that he would use, Gaza could be great again.
What do you say to Israelis who are desperate to get the hostages back, and they say, look, let's get them back now, and we can deal with Hamas later?
Look, my heart bleeds for the hostages, and Israel should do whatever it can to get the hostages back, as long as it's not at the price of losing the war. Every opportunity to get the hostages back, I think Israel is going to take, but at the same time, it can't sit back and watch Hamas regroup and rearm and get stronger and not do anything about it, because that will also result in more losses of life.
What do you think will be the administration's position if Israel decides, as a means of pressure on Hamas to release the hostages, to annex chunks of the Gaza Strip?
I think that's an option. I mean, I think the United States is prepared to give Israel a green light to do what it has to do to win the war. To me, I look at it a little bit differently. To me, for Israel to expand its territorial reach, whether in Gaza or whether in Yudav Shomron, it shouldn't be as a punishment to the Palestinians. It should be because it's the right thing to do for Israel and it's the right thing to do for the region.
To the best of your knowledge, did the president put an ultimatum to the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei? And is he trying to reach a new or improved JCPOA? Or is he talking about something else in which Iran completely deserts its nuclear operations?
Well, you know, the details of where he wants to get to, I don't know, but I think it's very close to a completely denuclearized Iran. And the president's going to do everything he can to denuclearize Iran without a war, but he's also made it extremely clear that he's prepared to use military force if he has to.
Do you think that a joint operation for the US and Israel against the Iranian nuclear facility is a viable option?
I think it's viable, and I think it is necessary. Israel can do far more with the help of America jointly than on its own. I think, to put it mildly, Israel's power, together with America in a Trump administration, is far greater than it was in the past administration.
Ambassador Friedman, thank you very much, and we are looking forward for your new book, One Jewish State.
Thank you, Tamir. Great to be with you.
Thank you.